When Live with Kelly and Mark returned to air Tuesday morning, fans breathed a collective sigh of relief. Kelly Ripa was back. The beloved host, whose sudden absence from the previous week's broadcasts had sparked concern and speculation, walked onto the set with her signature bright smile and wry humor intact. Yet beneath her glowing appearance was a story that had quietly unfolded off camera, one that involved a real health scare, a hard-earned lesson about balance, and a deeper understanding of her own resilience. A sudden disappearance. Kelly's abrupt disappearance had left audiences puzzled. For several days, husband and co-host Mark Consuelos had carried on solo, keeping the show's energy alive but unable to avoid the elephant in the room. Where was Kelly? He offered brief reassurances that she was under the weather, but avoided specifics. The internet, of course, filled in the blanks, speculating everything from exhaustion to a family emergency. When Kelly finally walked out on stage this week, the audience erupted with applause, a standing ovation that visibly moved her. Mark wrapped her in a quick hug before joking, "See what happens when you vanish. The ratings go up." Kelly, laughing, placed a hand over her heart and said, "Well, at least someone missed me." But then, as the applause quieted, she got serious. "I didn't just take a few days off for fun," she began. "I had a little health situation that turned into a big wake-up call. The health scare no one saw coming." Kelly explained that what started as a simple head cold escalated into something far more serious. "I thought it was allergies," she said. "I kept pushing through shows, meetings, workouts, family stuff. I figured I could sweat it out. But by Wednesday, I could barely talk, and by Thursday, I was flat on my back with a fever and no voice." A trip to her doctor revealed that Kelly had developed a severe upper respiratory infection that had started affecting her vocal cords. "It's funny," she admitted. "I spend my whole life talking, literally, and the one thing that gave out was my voice." Her doctor ordered complete vocal rest for several days, which, as Kelly joked, was the hardest thing I've done in 20 years of marriage. Mark confirmed with a grin, "Our house was very quiet. The kids thought it was weird. But the forced silence," Kelly revealed, "was also deeply humbling. It reminded me that I'm not invincible," she said. "I'm one of those people who thinks rest is optional. My body finally said, 'Sit down before I make you.' And it did." Behind the scenes, how the show handled it. While Kelly was sidelined, the live team quickly adjusted. Producers leaned on Mark's charm and improv skills to keep the show light and engaging, while guest co-hosts, including Ryan Seacrest and Kelly's longtime friend Anderson Cooper, filled in for short segments remotely. The network remained vague about Kelly's condition, partly at her request. She didn't want to make it a big drama, one insider told Entertainment Weekly. She really thought she'd be back in a day or two. But when her doctor said she needed full rest, she finally listened. Mark, ever the protective husband, made sure Kelly stayed offline. "She wanted to check messages, read the scripts, watch the show," he said on air. "I had to hide her phone at one point." Kelly laughed. "It's true. He confiscated my phone like I was a teenager grounded for bad behavior." Lessons learned. A new outlook on wellness. Kelly used her return episode to reflect on how the experience reshaped her approach to wellness. Known for her intense fitness routine and early morning work schedule, she confessed that she had been running on autopilot for months. "I always say health is wealth," she told viewers, "but I wasn't living that. I'd get up at 5 a.m., work all day, do the show, handle family stuff, and maybe sleep 5 hours. I convinced myself it was fine because I could still function. But functioning isn't thriving." Her doctor's warning was blunt: another bout of overexertion could lead to long-term vocal strain. "He told me, 'You have to treat your voice like an athlete treats their body.' That hit me hard. I realized I haven't been training smart, I've just been pushing harder." Since then, Kelly said she's made changes, adding vocal therapy exercises, scheduling mandatory rest blocks, and cutting caffeine after noon. She even started meditating again, something she'd let slide. "It's amazing how loud your thoughts can get when you're forced to stop talking," she quipped. "But I needed that silence to realize how out of sync I'd become." Mark's perspective. "She's the toughest person I know." Mark, who sat beside her as she shared her story, admitted he'd been worried. "Kelly's the toughest person I know," he said. "She'll host with a migraine, a fever, whatever. She's unstoppable, until she literally can't speak. That's when I knew it was serious." The experience, he added, also deepened his appreciation for her commitment. "We all see her come out every morning, perfectly put together, high energy, cracking jokes. But what people don't see is the preparation, the discipline, and the pressure she puts on herself. Sometimes she forgets she's human. Kelly smiled at him. I do forget that sometimes, she said softly. But I think I finally remembered. A deeper connection with fans. After the show aired, fans flooded social media with messages of support and gratitude. Many praised Kelly for being open about her health and the importance of rest. So proud of you for speaking up about burnout, one fan tweeted. It's something we all need to hear. Another added, Kelly Ripa losing her voice is basically the universe telling us to slow down too. Kelly responded to several messages later that day, writing, thank you all for your kindness. I'm healing, resting more, and learning that, no, is a complete sentence. That candidness, and her willingness to let fans in on her vulnerability, made the episode one of the most talked about moments of the week in daytime television. Ratings spiked, but more importantly, it reminded viewers why Kelly's authenticity has kept her on top for decades. A look back. Kelly's history with health and hustle. This isn't the first time Kelly's health has made headlines. Over the years, she's spoken openly about dealing with anxiety, digestive issues, and the pressures of maintaining her stamina in a high-energy career. She's also a vocal advocate for balanced nutrition and self-care, though she admits she doesn't always practice what she preaches. I tell my kids all the time to take care of themselves, she said on Live. Then I'm up at 3 a.m. answering emails and wondering why I'm tired. I guess it's that classic mom hypocrisy. Mark chimed in, she's not wrong, earning a playful glare from Kelly. Still, her track record of consistency is remarkable. Few morning show hosts have maintained her level of engagement and charisma for as long as she has. Since joining Live, in 2001, Kelly has weathered co-host changes, network shifts, and evolving TV landscapes, all while maintaining her signature humor and relatability. She's built her career on connection, said a production insider. When Kelly talks about something real, whether it's parenting struggles or a health scare, people listen because she's one of them. She never fakes it. Looking ahead, a renewed chapter for Live. The episode ended on a hopeful note. Kelly promised viewers she'd slow down just enough to stick around for the long haul. She even teased a few upcoming show segments focusing on health and wellness, including one featuring her doctor discussing vocal care for professionals. I'm turning this into a teachable moment, Kelly said. If I can lose my voice from overdoing it, anyone can. So we're going to talk about how to listen to your body before it forces you to. Mark added, we're also going to make sure she follows her own advice this time. Kelly rolled her eyes affectionately. Famous last words, she replied. The couple's on-screen chemistry, equal parts playful banter and genuine affection, reminded viewers why they're so beloved. Even after years of working and living together, their dynamic remains fresh, real, and deeply human. A moment of reflection. Before wrapping up, Kelly grew introspective. When I first lost my voice, I panicked, she admitted. It wasn't just about missing work, it felt like losing part of myself. Talking, connecting, laughing, that's my job, but it's also my joy. Being forced to be silent made me realize how much I take that for granted. She paused, her voice steady but full of emotion. So, I'm not calling it a setback anymore. I'm calling it a reset. The audience applauded again, sensing that this wasn't just another celebrity health confession, it was a reminder that even the most put-together people sometimes need to pause, breathe, and heal. As the cameras faded to black and the show's theme music played, Kelly flashed her familiar grin. Now that I've got my voice back, she said with a wink, you're never getting me to shut up again. And with that, Live with Kelly and Mark was officially back, louder, lighter, and maybe a little wiser than before. Postscript. Later that evening, Kelly posted a selfie on Instagram from her dressing room, no makeup, hair in a bun, holding a mug of tea. The caption read simply, rest, recover, repeat. Lesson learned. Within hours, it had over 300,000 likes and thousands of supportive comments. It was classic Kelly Ripa, open, unfiltered, and impossibly relatable, proof that sometimes even a health scare can turn into a story of renewal.